everyone, just a quick suggested reading list for you today. And if you want to study classical Chinese, I'm choosing pieces from this book. And I haven't read all of these myself yet, but I've read about maybe say 40% of them. But there are a few pieces I would definitely recommend if you want to study classical Chinese. So here we go. This book divides the classical Chinese pieces by periods. So this period, Xinchen, was a period before the Qin dynasty, so that was about more than 2,000 years ago. So these are really old pieces. So from this period, I would suggest Hunhot. Hunhot is a really long piece. If I could just show you. So you don't have to go through, you don't have to plow through the entire thing. You can just choose the first few paragraphs. Yeah, so it starts here, and I would suggest you stop at Xin Ga Yu Mat Ya, and you can ignore the rest. People in Hong Kong where I live, when they study this piece, they usually just choose the opening, and they ignore the rest. Yeah, so Sun Ji Hunhot. And we move on to Chen Han Si Dai. And from this period, the only thing in this book that I would suggest is Hong Mun Yin. This is actually a historical piece. It's about a meeting that took place between two different parties. They were at war with each other, and they had a meeting. So this is the record of the entire meeting, and it's written by this guy called Si Matin. You may have heard of him. He's the guy who wrote Xi Ge, or in English I think it's called the Records of the Grand Historian. Yeah. So Hong Mun Yin. And we move on. You should definitely read Qin Che Si Biu. This is really famous. There's actually another piece called Hou Che Si Biu that complements this one, but people usually ignore this one and just read this. So I suggest you do the same. It's written by Zhu Guolong. Yeah. And in the same period, apart from this guy, I would also suggest Tou Yunming, and I would definitely suggest Guai Hui Lai Hai Qi. And but this is actually kind of advanced, so if you don't want to, if you think you can't take it, then Tou Fa Yun Ge would be a good choice as well. And as we move on to the Tang Dynasty, you can try this piece. This is really advanced, but so if you want to challenge yourself, you can always try this. You should definitely read stuff from Hong Ju, and I think you should read Cixi, this one right here. Yeah, this is really famous again. This is really advanced, so again, if you want to challenge yourself, you can always try. Lao Zhengyun is very famous as well, and I would suggest Qi Da Sai San Yin Yao Ge. This is, I would say, about medium level, so read it at your own risk. And moving on to the Song Dynasty, you should definitely read stuff from Ouyang Sao. He writes great poems, and I think you should read Zhou Yong Teng Ge. This is a true masterpiece. So yeah. Going on still in the Song Dynasty, you should definitely read Soul Sek. I love this guy. He writes great poems again, and I would say I'd suggest all of these. But if you want to choose the best out of these pieces, I would say Qin Ce Big Fu. That's the one that I made that's the one that my last video was on. So I recited the first few sentences of this. So yeah, you should definitely check this out, Qin Ce Big Fu. And moving on, I think you can ignore these. They're not really that important. Moving on to the Ming Dynasty, I actually haven't read much of these, so I don't think I can make a lot of good suggestions, but maybe you can try Mai Gam Jie Yin or Hong Zhou Ying Ji. Yeah, so these are pretty famous pieces as well. And moving on to Qing Dynasty, I've read even less of these, and but there is one piece that's really interesting. It's called Wang San Jie Xu Xu, this one right here. Yeah, so you can try reading this one. So yes, so this is the suggested reading list, so I hope this video helped, and happy studying.